What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing all the snippets that Ian has played for his upcoming project, On to Better Things. Now keep in mind that this album, at least as far as we know, is only 17 songs, and he's played way more than 17 snippets for this album, so keep in mind that some of these might get added onto the deluxe, some might get scrapped. We're just going to kind of dive into the songs that we know are confirmed for the album and just the extra snippets that he's played as well. But with all this being said, we're just going to dive on into the video. So some songs that we do know are confirmed on the album and snippets that Ian has played are Complicated, Heartbreaker, which is the Moonlight snippet, Heavy, which is It's True. Ian has played this song a lot. This is one of those older Industry Plant extra songs that Ian made back in like 2019, but we know that this is going to be on the album. He's really hinted towards it a lot, especially at the beginning of this album's rollout. We also had that one video where Ian was mixing Options, which is an older snippet that he played during the summer, but I still think the chances of this making it on the album are high. There's also I Might, which I'm pretty sure this is still confirmed to be on the album. Ian has hyped this one up a lot. This was actually going to be one of the original singles for the album, same with Moonlight, and we know that Leroy was going to be on I Might, but Ian did confirm that Leroy isn't on the album, so I Might is solo, and Ian did add a new verse to it that is different from the leaked version. We also know that there are two punk rock songs on this album. Ian performed both of these very recently at like Travis Barker's little festival thing that he had, so these are confirmed to be on the album, which is Obvious and Hopeless Romantic. Obvious is like a I'm Gone era song that Ian previewed back in early 2020 or like mid 2020. If you ask me, these are actually really good songs, especially because they're punk rock Ian. I like punk rock Ian. I don't know if a lot of you guys do, but I'm excited for these to make it on the album. Now, a song that we haven't heard a lot about, which still could drop but still might not, is Anyone Else with Doja Cat. Now, the reason I'm saying this might not drop anymore is that Ian has not really talked about it a lot. He's played it twice, so we do have two snippets to it, and we do have a CDQ snippet to it, but other than that, Ian hasn't said a lot about it, and this wouldn't be the first time Ian has scrapped a feature from a really big artist. He had a song with DaBaby that never got released. He also took Polo G off of the original Shots in the Dark and put Trippy on it, so there's been lots of instances where Ian has not dropped features or songs with bigger artists, so I could see this not making the album just because we haven't heard a lot about it, but then again, for those same reasons, I could still see it making the album just because Doja Cat is on it. There's also 3 in a row with Young Thug that I still think has a chance to make it on the album. Ian has played this one, I think, twice as well, but we have never heard Thug's verse on it. And one time when Ian played this song, there was still an open on it. So I don't know if he just doesn't have Thug's version like on his phone or whatever he was playing it on, or if they were still waiting on the Thug verse, but I think that Thug will still be on the album. I hope we get this song because I'm a big fan of Ian and Thug, and it'd be cool to hear them together. Even though I'm not really a huge fan of how this snippet sounds, I would still like to see it drop just because Thug is on it. There's also Stuck in the Room, which I'm pretty sure this is kind of theorized to have Dro Kenji on it. Now, is that true? I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever found a snippet where they played Dro's part on this song, but either way, Ian has played this like 1 or 2 times, or I think maybe even Taz has played it a time or two. And I haven't really heard much for this song. Ian hasn't specifically talked about the song in the Discord, so I could say this one's hit or miss. It'll either make the album or it won't. Now, a song that we are all a fan of, at least from my knowledge, is Regret. This is one of those newer Nothing Ever Good Enough 2 era songs that Ian played that we were thinking might not make the album because of Relapse, but Ian confirmed that Regret did make the final cut for the album, so we know officially that this is dropping, which is good news. I'm a really big fan of this snippet, and from the last video, I know a lot of you guys are too. Now, looking at Relapse, I think that this song isn't going to drop just because the Discord told Ian that this was a leak, and while I don't think that affects much, I don't think Ian would care too much. I think he's going to do his best to drop all unheard songs on this album, minus the snippets he's played, so I don't think Relapse did make the album, especially because he said Regret or Relapse, and he confirmed that Regret did make the album, so I don't think Relapse will be getting an official release on this project, but then again, I could be wrong. And as for one of the newer snippets that Ian has played that is also confirmed to be on the album is Gucci Bag. Ian did confirm that this made the album because a lot of fans, when he played the song, enjoyed it. This is one of those really new songs that Ian made. I don't even think this was made for the project. He was just working on something new, and a lot of the fans liked it, so he added it onto the album. Another confirmed song that we know is on this album is Let You. Let You is releasing on the 12th of November. At least as of right now, Ian hasn't pushed that date back at all, so we know that Let You is the next single for the album. There's a music video shot and possibly edited for it, so be on the lookout for that. There's also the intro to the album, which is You. Ian confirmed a while ago that this was the intro to the project. Now, keep in mind that's still subject to change because he said that before he turned the album in, but I still think that there's a really high chance that You drops. He's played this a lot, and I just don't really see him removing this from the album. Now, a song that I don't know if is on the album anymore is Like Me. Like Me is the Internet Money x Ian Dior Rage song that they made back when that trend was really kicking off with like the Trip at Night stuff and just everything going on with like Cardi dropping Whole Lotta Red and that starting to get its hype. Now, I'm not saying this song isn't going to make the album anymore because the Rage music obviously wasn't just a trend. There are still artists that are releasing Rage style songs, but I don't think Ian's going to drop this. He's only played it like one time, minus the time where Taz played it. So I would just say this is exactly like Stuck in the Room. It's a 50-50 chance if it releases. Ian hasn't specifically said anything about it being on the album other than that original track list that we saw, but that original track list is also looking more and more outdated, so we'll have to wait and see with that. There also is the snippet More. This was like an older 2019 song as well that I think was actually going to leak before it was kind of started to get hinted towards to be on the album. Now, I'm not a fan of this snippet at all, really. I don't really like it, so I could really care less if it drops. And honestly, I think it falls in the exact same category as Like Me and Stuck in the Room. Ian hasn't really specifically played it a lot. He has played it a couple times, but there's just so many snippets that he's played for this album that a few of these definitely aren't making it. And personally, I hope this one doesn't make it just compared to the others, but it still could. Now, a song that was confirmed on the album, but I think is getting removed is Free Falling. In the live, Ian said he didn't know how he felt about this song anymore, and this was on that original track list, like where he confirmed like 6 or 8 songs or something like that. This was on there, but he's only ever played it once. The only thing he ever really said about it was he didn't know how he felt about it anymore. And honestly, it sounds like an interlude. I don't think it sounds bad, but I wouldn't complain if it doesn't make the album. Now, for these 4 new snippets that Ian played, these are some of the most recent new snippets he played. Now, these might possibly be on the deluxe. They could also end up on the original album as well. That goes basically with any of these songs. At the end, we'll recap everything that is confirmed for the actual album, but these 4 new snippets are No Return, Hell, F This Party, which is produced by Census, an Internet Money producer, and then Chasing a Feeling, which is produced by Taz Taylor and Nick Mira. All 4 of these are really new snippets that we've gotten that personally, I don't think any of them are actually going to make the original album. I think maybe Chasing a Feeling or F This Party, just because they're both produced by Internet Money. And I mean, all 4 of these could be produced by Internet Money. I don't know if we know the producers for all of them, but it's just really hit or miss if I'm being honest. A lot of these aren't the best in my opinion. I'm a big fan of Hell and F This Party. I think both of those sound really cool and I think they should drop. But as for the other ones, they're just more like melodic or just like Industry Plant vibe songs. I really get that from Chasing a Feeling, like an Industry Plant vibe. So it'd be cool to see this drop, but if it doesn't, I'm not really going to complain too much. But now going over to the songs that are confirmed to be on the actual On to Better Things project that we are getting in December. The songs that we are for sure getting are Complicated, Heartbreaker, I Might, Obvious, Hopeless Romantic, Regret, Gucci Bag, Let You, and You. The other songs, like Anyone Else with Doja Cat, 3 in a Row with Thug, It's True, Relapse, Stuck in the Room, Like Me, More, Free Falling, and then those 4 new snippets, all of these I would say are hit or miss. They might make the album, they might not. Now, basically, we went over like 20 new snippets, so some of these are for sure not making the original album, but some are. We know that Ian is doing a deluxe, like I've said a couple times, so a few of these will probably get on the deluxe, if not all of them that don't drop on the original project. We'll just have to wait and see, but that's all for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.